everyone, and welcome to day 11 of 100 Days of Code with Jane Samuel. Today, I'm going to be working on a xylophone app. So, it's an app that has different buttons, and whenever you click on these buttons, it plays a note. So, I'm also going to be learning about the Flutter and Dart packages. And I must say, you guys must forgive me for not showing my face when I'm coding, and just because I'm kind of like shy, and school has resumed, everywhere is already rowdy, and I don't think I have the mind to put my phone and record myself. So, let's get to it. So first, I cloned the project from GitHub, I ran the app, and it was just an empty scaffold. Now it was time to learn about the Flutter and Dart packages. So I went to the Flutter documentation and I learned how to install the English library. So I did that and I ran. There wasn't any change when I installed the English word package. So I went ahead to print the first and the last noun in the list. After doing that, we had a challenge to install the audio players package. Now, installing the audio player package was not difficult, but where I had issues was using the audio cache. So, I noticed that since the last time the course was recorded, a few things has been changed, and the audio cache was no longer available. So I couldn't really use the audio cache library that I imported. So I had to go back and change it to audio player, and I had to go back to the documentation and check out how to use the audio cache so that I can use some of the audios that I've already added to my asset folder. Even after that, I still couldn't run my app. I still couldn't play the notes because the codes that was used in that course was already outdated. The package was already outdated. I was running into a lot of errors with the audio player package. So I went ahead to do what every other developer was going to do in my situation. I went over to Stack Overflow to check out some answers, but I couldn't even find anything. I went to YouTube, I played a lot of videos. I still could not find anything that was going to help me solve this problem. And lastly, I went to the documentation. I went to the documentation for the audio player. I went to the README documents. I checked everything. I still could not play the audio. But thankfully, after so much research, I was able to run that. But now the main issue now I was having was this cocoa pods. Like I have no idea what this is. And the error just came randomly and I was stuck on this for hours. Now, when I say this thing gave me hell, I saw fire. So installing this cocoa pods was really difficult. I didn't know what to do. It was all new to me and I went to Stack Overflow. I checked out different people's answer. I tried every single one of them. I went to my terminal. I was just running every single code that I was just seeing. I went to the terminal also in my Android Studio. I ran so many codes there. I did a lot of things. I shut down my laptop. I restarted my IDE. Nothing was working. Everything was really giving me headache. At this point, I was just like, if it doesn't work, I was just going to go back to bed because I was awake for a very, very long time. Thankfully, after hours, like up to like 4 hours, I was on this. After so much time, I was finally able to install the pod, and everything was running, everything was fine. But when I thought it was all over, I also faced another error. Now, this one was kind of like my fault because I accidentally changed the extension for the audio files to a text file. So I actually just saw a pop up and I didn't even, because I was already frustrated and I was already getting tired, I just clicked on OK, and it's kind of override the wave files. So that's the audio files. It changed all of them to text. So I had to kind of like change everything back. And to rectify this, I actually had to delete the whole of the project, like clone it again. I started afresh and it was still the same thing. So I went to my preferences and I was sure able to solve it and everything was really fine. Please don't ask me how I did it because I've totally forgotten. Now I ran my app and I could hear my sound. The amount of relief that I had, eh? And I guess that brings me to the end of the 11 of 100 days of code with Chimji and Samuel. I think today was the longest day ever because I spent hours coding. On an average, I usually spend like 4 hours coding, but today I actually spent up to like 8 hours coding, and I actually started coding at night. I started coding around 2 a.m. And by the time I was done, it was already like 9 or something before I went back to my room. So I guess that's going to be the end of it today. Make sure you follow my social media handles, and I'm gonna see you guys at the 12 rather.